share it with this world ain't worth nothing. Can I take a minute of your time to tell the story of a man that I wish was mine? And I'm awfully sorry if I cry, or if the song doesn't serve him right. And it seems a little strange, but maybe I got a soul that's aged a little faster than I do. But I can't help myself when it comes to you. Oh, I can't help myself when it comes to you. And I was never good at telling lies, so please believe me when I say I love your smile. And I get lost in your eyes. Won't you dance with me under the moonlight tonight? And it seems a little strange, but maybe I got a soul that's aged a little faster than I do. But I can't help myself when it comes to you. Oh, I can't help myself when it comes to you. When it comes to you. It seems a little strange, but maybe I got a soul that's aged a little faster than I do. But I can't help myself when it comes to you. Oh, I can't help myself when it comes to you. Oh, he's got it all. Can you really blame me if I fall? Oh, he's got it all. Can you really blame me if I fall? Oh, he's got it all. Can you really blame me if I fall? Oh, he's got it all. Can you really blame me if I fall?
How dare you? How dare you buy me McDonald's? Also, why is this so zoomed in? Hold on. Wait. Okay, my microphone is working good. Hold on. I need to figure out why this is so zoomed in. Okay, there we go. Fuck. Okay. Hi. Oh, I know why I zoomed it in, because I was working on another scene, which I'm gonna show you guys here shortly. But anyways, hi. So I have a lot of new things on stream, on the channel in general, and on stream, and I want to see if you guys can find them. Actually, I'm curious to see if anybody's noticed anything new. But while you guys are looking around, I'm gonna say hi to everybody. Hello, Avo and Alex. Avo got first, heckin' first. Hello, Peaches. Hello, Gamer. Hello, Shifter. How y'all doing? 17 months, Gamer. Holy. Thank you so much for the resub. Oh my god. That's so awesome. Thank you. And also, thank you, Alex, for the macas. I appreciate. I will watch my phone to make sure that I know when they come. Oh man. Chicken buffalo? Wait, chicken buffalo. Chicken buffalo what? I am confused. Confusion. You noticed? Hi, Johnny Wakens. How are you? Oh my gosh, that emo is so cute. Ah, all those emotes are so cute. Oh, I love them. Yeah, how y'all doing? Gamer, what did you notice? What did you notice? You could tell me, because I'm pretty sure there's more stuff that I didn't tell you. Maybe? I can't remember. You'll try it next time you're up there. You can't remember. Oh, wait. Try it next time you're up there, then. I don't know why I just said I can't remember. I just like input that into your sentence. Very sus. You're doing well? I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, John. Very glad to hear you're doing well. But anyways, I'm gonna wait a few more minutes to like do the big announcement. The Stream Elements bot has already ruined that, but there is a new chat box that is correct. I haven't updated it on the starting soon screen yet because I'm a dumb, but we do have a new chat box over there, which is going to be different looking in every scene, and I'm hella hyped for it. Oh my god, I never started Pixel Chat. Oh my god. I knew there was something I was missing. Okay. Are my captions working now, please? Please. Oh god. Oh, look at me. Look at me go. Pro streamer here. Hold on. No, I didn't even open it. And the input is changed to the wrong thing anyways, so it wasn't gonna work even if I did have it on auto start. Alright, stop the captions. Start the captions again. There we go. I got it. We're good. Pro streamer moment. Let's go. Also, I might be yelling at you guys. I'm so sorry. My gain was like all the way up. Oh, I forgot to turn on the lights. Yeah, okay, thank you. I appreciate today's been a day. Hi, Shifter. Thank you, I appreciate. You take it with every McDonald's meal? Wait. Oh, the poutine? You get poutine with every McDonald's meal? What? Nutty. Nutty. It's not as good as the other spots? Okay, yeah, definitely show us the good spots. I appreciate it. Jade! How you doing, Jade? Welcome in, welcome in. Erica, welcome in. Did you just call Jade a secretary? Secretary Jade. Oh my gosh. But anyways, I think... So Gamer saw the chat box. If you have a sub, look at your badge. Look at your badge if you have a sub. There's new stuff! There's new stuff! Also, that chat box, or that chat bot is going to get hella annoying, and I'm gonna turn that down right now. I don't want to see that every 5 minutes. I'm sorry. It's just gonna clog the chat. They auto set it up for 5 minutes, but I think that's a little overkill for chat that doesn't move very fast. Okay, there we go. Save. I'll turn it down to that. There we go. Save. Okay. There's that. Every 69 seconds. No. No. Right? The sub badges are so cute! We got sub badges that are Eevee Pokeballs. They're super duper cute. And also, another new thing, if you look down in my about section, on my Twitch about section, everything is new! I did a rework of my about section with all my panels and stuff. Their butt. Wait. Surpassed you? Wait, what do you mean it surpassed you? Surpassed you in what? Oh, Alex surpassed you in Valorant? Is that what you're saying? Oh man. How can you let that happen? How can you let it happen? He's a god now? Oh man. Oh man. God Alex. I'm going to minimize Discord because that is literally just like distracting the hell out of me. Okay, cool. I'll keep that there. Alright. So, another announcement, guys. Another announcement. We have a sponsorship! We have a sponsorship. Can y'all guess who it is? Not the ascended Cackbutt. Cackbutt has ascended. Oh man. Your connection is ass, so you can't hear. Oh, can't hear or see anything. But you're on the way to get your nails done. Thank you, Taya, Peaches. Peaches, I love you. It's not Raid Shadow Legends. You know, they sent me another sponsorship offer like 4 or 5 months ago, and I denied it because like once for the meme was enough. But yeah, this. I got a HelloFresh sponsorship. So if y'all don't know what HelloFresh is, HelloFresh is a food delivery service basically that delivers you meals to your doorstep. It's already pre-portioned. The ingredients are already in the box. You can ask them for like super quick, easy meals to make. You can ask them for specific types of meals, like if you want meat or only veggies, or if you're pescatarian, or if you want family friendly, or like very low prep time meals. They range in a variety of like from a short prep time to a very long prep time. Not very long. Don't quote me on that. They range in prep time, but you can get like really short prep time ones, but that's already in the box, like pre-portioned out, ready for you to cook. Yeah, you got quick and easy meals, you got family friendly meals, you got like anything you can want. But yeah, if you want to look at what they have to offer, you can click that link, and that link not only directly supports myself, but it also gives you about a half off of their price. So if you subscribe, you'll get about half off. I'm pretty sure it's only for the first week, but I'm not sure about that. But after that, you'll also be supporting myself as well. So you want another way to support myself, you can click on that link and order a subscription for a really yummy meal, a healthy meal. I think the lowest one is like 2 meals for 2 people, and then that's it. With my link, it's $20 US, and then for like a couple more dollars, you can get 3 meals for 2 people for a week. It's really good. It's a really good deal. Really good deal. I bet you spend more than that on one meal eating out. It's a good deal. Right? We'll all be healthy while Sandy eats Nuggies. You know? Oh god, I just realized, I might not be able to eat that on stream. It specifically said no competitor branding on stream. So I might be able to just like eat the food, but not say what it is. Or show the packaging. But anyways, later in the stream, here in like an hour or so, I'll be going through the website with you guys. Unless you want to do that now. I'll probably do it later. I'll go through the website with you guys, and I'll order my own subscription on there so we can try it out. So my plan is, we're gonna look at what they have later. We're going to order myself one, and then next week we're gonna cook it, and then I'm gonna do a review on their meals so you guys can know what they're like. Yeah, they do look super good on the website. Gamer saying, everyone buy HelloFresh, everyone. Man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. And if you do happen to buy a subscription, let me know how it goes. I'm curious to know what you guys think of it too. Or if you have already tried HelloFresh, let me know. I'm really curious to see what your thoughts on it are. They even reached the Poutine Lands, really? They go to Canada too? That's awesome! Erica said that they had HelloFresh and it was bussin'. Oh man. You heard it here first, folks. Erica loved HelloFresh. And you could too. Gotta drop some cash tomorrow for your passport? Oh, do you think at some point? Okay then, well, I think I have the sponsorship for a whole month. So, I'll let you know about that for sure, like next stream. But yeah. I know, I've heard really good things about them too, and I've seen some reviews about them online, and a lot of good reviews, I've been wanting to try it for a while too, because I keep getting like discount codes for them and like mail when I buy different things, and just like, I wonder. But now I can try it out. Now I can try it out. Do I know if the code works on Canada's website? Alex, you can go to their website and put in that code and see if it works. Let me know if it does. Or you could try clicking on that link. I don't know if the link will automatically take you to the, here's the link again. I don't know if that'll take you automatically to, the Canada one, or if it's gonna take you to the US one, but if you look in my about section, oh, it also has the code there too, and the thingy. But the code is in the about section if you lose the chat message too. Thanks to the US site. Alright, so yeah, try to go on your website and use that, code and see if it goes through. If it does, let me know because I'm curious now. But you'll know if it goes through if you go like to the total price section, where it normally says like $50 US, it'll be like $20 US if the code's working, have like red strike throughs. It doesn't work! What the heck? Does it only work in the US then? I'm so sorry, Alex. That sucks. But you know what? Hear me out though. If we do get, I think if we get to 5 subscriptions, I'm gonna give away a sub, and if you win it, I can send one to you. But I'm gonna, if we get 5 people that get a subscription, I'm gonna give away another subscription. And if we hit 10, I'll give away another subscription, and then I'll play any game that you guys want me to play. I'll play any game y'all want me to play on stream. Alex, you know how to fix and move to the US. You know, that's such big brain plays. And you get a giveaway, and you get a giveaway, and you butt one. Give 69 subscriptions a 420 subscription. You know what? If we get 420, that'd be amazing. I think my sponsorship only goes up to 50 subscriptions though, if I remember correctly. So past 50, it doesn't benefit me any longer. But I would be down. Oh man, but yeah, I want to let you guys know about that. The code's also above me too. And it'll be on every screen. You're not sure if they go to Hawaii? You can check. If you go to the website, there might be like an FAQ section about where they ship to, or you can just like scroll to the shipping section and see like if you go like to order it, go to the shipping section and like input your address and see if it goes. Kind of doubt that they do. They might not. I understand if they wouldn't ship anywhere except for like mainland US, because then like the food would also take longer to get there and it wouldn't be as fresh. So that would make sense. Plus it's a little more expensive to ship off seas. Not off seas, but like off the mainland, you know what I mean? But yeah. Let me know how that goes, Jade, if you do see if they ship out there. Because I was curious about where all this would work for, and this is answering all my questions. If every follower takes one, we Gucci. Yo, that'd be so many. You'd assume most things don't want to ship to Hawaii. Yeah. I mean, I kind of would guess too, but here, I might check real quick. See if there's like an FAQ section. The garlic herb I can't talk. God. The garlic herb chicken is amazing. Do you know which one that's from? Is that from like the healthy one? Do you know?
Huzzah!
Hiya! Giver, thank you. Even your really good chef friends like HelloFresh. Ooh, that means it's real good then, huh? That means it's real good. I'm so excited to try it.
Yo, what's up,
Looking.
chat? Always remember, stay thick, right? You beautiful people, love you.
Hell yeah. Alright, they have a help center. Delivery. Delivery. Where do you deliver to? Where do you deliver to? Where do you deliver? There we go. We deliver to all states across the continental US. Unfortunately, they do not ship to Hawaii or Alaska. But stay tuned because they're always working on ways to improve. So, they don't ship to Hawaii or Alaska, but they might in the future, is what I'm reading from that. That's what I'm reading from that. As a big truck shipped to Hawaii. If only it worked like that. You can't. Oh no. I'm sorry, Jade. I'm sorry. Maybe one of these days, though, they will. You could also, like, send them an email and be like, hey, here's a suggestion. Ship to Hawaii. I'm sure that they take into, like, prospective customer... Well, I just, like, made a weird mouth noise. I'm sure they take, like, prospective customer suggestions into account. Anyways, I think I would like to play some games. What would you like to see me do today? Y'all want to see some like Super Animal Royale? Do you want to see some Dead by Daylight? You want to see? Well, I don't know what other games I would play. Valorant. Yeah, I can make a poll. I could make a poll. I don't have. Well, do I have Super Auto Pets? I don't think I have Super Auto Pets. Let me show me. Here, I'll make a poll. Which game? Super Animal Royale? Dead by Daylight. Let's see what else we have. Valorant. Can also do. I've streamed League before. I don't really enjoy streaming it. Super Auto Pets is free? I can try it. I could try it. I'll put it on the poll. So I know we shop all local here anyway. That's such a good way to do it though, because you can get like super fresh stuff. Alright, polls up for 2 minutes. You can vote on which game we're playing. You can vote on which game we're playing. I might as well start downloading that Super Auto Pets game. I'm sorry also if my stream goes wonky. But oh, it's 1.5 gigabytes. You're breaking me, Alex. You're breaking me. You're breaking me. How dare you? Also, if anybody has prop night, let me know, because we're looking for one more person to play prop night. We need one more person to play prop night. We got our Sea of Thieves crew, and now we're looking for prop night for next month. For next month. Welcome in, Potion. How was a nap? It's fine though. I already read that. I already read that. I see votes for Super Animal Royale. Yeah, Jade. Do you like prop night? Also, I don't have my kitty ears on today because another announcement. I had my second interview for a company today. I can't say who they are yet because I don't wanna get hopes up. But fingers crossed that it goes through. I may have been I may have bombed like a 1 question on the interview, but they said that they liked all my answers, so here's hopeful. Did you working at OnlyFans? How'd you know? Stop telling my secrets. Stop telling my secrets. Oh my gosh. How do you know I did great? You weren't here for it. Sandy, official OnlyFans photographer. Ooh. Oh, whoa. Oh man. Okay. Okay. 4 votes for Super Animal Royale. Looks like we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing that thing. Let's move all of my stuff over to my second monitor. Oh god, too big. Too big. Too big. Too big. Okay. There we go. Got it. I got it. Oh, stop telling my secrets. How dare you? How dare you? You guys didn't see that? No? Alright, we're gonna do some Super Animal Royale. Let me turn off the musics. And also get rid of all of these tabs I have open. Oh my god! Why do I have it? Okay. Pausing Ducky's music. You can find more of Ducky's music right there at that link if you would like to go check out some more of their music. Let's see, the first few songs you heard were Ducky's original pieces, and then the last few you heard was Ducky's band. I think I got that far. Yes. Ducky's also in a band. Ducky does their own music, and Ducky does music with a band. Alright. So, before I get into the game, do y'all want to see something cool? I have one more new thing to show you. One more new thing. Are y'all looking? Are you here? Are you looking? Are you looking? I got one more new thing. One more new thing. I'm gonna turn on the Eevee redemption at some point, probably after this stream. Cause for the rest of the stream, if we ever do any more just chatting scenes, we go into this scene. Ooh. Also, there's my cat ears. Hello. But yeah. Look at that! Look at how cute! Also, you can see more of Shifter's arm.
More of our room.
And more of our room, that's alright. That's alright, that's alright.
Disappear.
Is Trigger Fire not working again? Oh my god. Trigger Fire, why? It's not going. Wait, can you guys even hear me? Yeah, you can. Okay, I see it. I see it working. Ah! Trigger Fire. Oh, do I have Trigger? I do have Trigger Fire on here. Come on, Trigger Fire. No properties available? Excuse me? Hold on. I am confusion. Confusion! Oh, did you grab that already? Oh, our non-distinct nuggets and fries are here.
Another HelloFresh. I went downstairs and I made all this myself. Just to go using HelloFresh. It was an amazing experience.
Ah, yes. Let me move this over here without showing any branding real fast. Ooh, that's gonna be difficult to take a drink of that without showing branding. Hold on. I need to think this through, folks. No. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. The housing crisis finally hit Trigger Fire. Hold on. If I go back to this. Oh, this is an old scene. This is an old scene. Okay, no, that's the same thing. However, why? Alright, so triggers just aren't working for today. I'm gonna have to figure that out after stream. Somebody remind me about that. Hashtag sponsored. I am hashtag sponsored by HelloFresh. God, I love Stream Decks. Man. Thank you, Alex, for the nummies. refund yourself. Refund yourself. Also, my chocolate frog is showing ooh. Also, by the way, triggers were working earlier just fine. You saw them. The huzzah worked just fine. Why are they just now like, no, never mind. I'm so confused. Alright, anyways. Now the bigger question is, do I have this game on the scene? Because I think that answer is no. Oh man, hold on. Hold on.
Yo, what's going on, chat? How's everyone doing
See, look,
tonight?
that
I hope you're
works.
all doing well, baby. Let's fucking go. Let's get some yeses in the chat.
Hell yeah. But my question is, why is it not working on the other one? Alright. Specific window. Okay, okay. We got it. We're going. We're going. We got the game. We got the game. That look good? Hold on. I know you guys can't see it yet. Give me a second. Give me a second. I have so many things unlocked. Why are they all unlocked? They're all unlocked. Pro streamer moments, guys. First sponsored stream in so long and everything goes wrong. Alright. Unlocking that. I can't tell if that's... Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Alright, there we go. We got the game. We got the game. Let's go! Sugar Fire hates poutine people. John, I love that you're so supportive with all of the emotes. It makes me very happy. It makes me very happy. I appreciate you. Wait, which scene? Which scene? Hashtag sponsored by also the Nuggets and Drink. No, I'm not sponsored by them. Which scene were you talking about, Gamer? Were you talking about the Eevee one? Also, do I have a straw? Our chance? Thank you. Alright. So, if you have Super Animal Royale, I know a few of you in chat do. I might ask y'all to play here in like 30 minutes, but I kind of want to play a few games by myself to start with. Ooh, got the good root beers. Okay. Ooh, we got weapons unlocked? We got an SMG unlocked? Let's go. So, if you haven't played Super Animal Royale before, it is... I should also change this. It is a battle royale. And it is very, very cute. And fun and addicting. And I could spend hours on this. Because it's just like... You get so far in it, you're just like, oh, one more game might be it, right? It is super cute, Jade. I love it so much. Alright, game is now Super Animal Royale. You just thought about this game today? You know what, gamer? If you want to join us later, just saying. That's a weird Octane skin? Bruh. It's the best Octane skin. What you talking about? Well, good news, gamer. It's free. It's a free game. Hashtag not sponsored by this. It is a free game and it's a battle royale and it's really, really fun. You can whack people with different objects and it's great. It's a lot of fun. Look at the dance party! You haven't played this game? Is it hard? When I first started out on this game, I thought it was a little bit difficult just because I've never played a game like this before. It's a top-down shooter, where your, like, reticle follows where your mouse goes. So you can move your reticle around you, like, in a circle and it'll follow. See, like, how my character's, like, looking around wherever my reticle goes? You have to move your mouse directly to where you want to shoot. Oh god, I'm not ready! I only have a dark gun! But you have to- you have to move it to where you want to shoot! And also, you can get really bad drops like that. But yeah. I wasn't ready! I wasn't ready! But yeah, if you're used to those kinds of games, it's a lot of fun. It's pretty easy once you get used to it. But ooh, we got night mode. We got night mode. But yeah, it can be really difficult if you haven't played anything like it or aren't really into shooters. Where you played this game, Counter-Strike 2D is kind of like that? I've never seen or played that. It's not too hard. Yeah, it's not too hard once you get used to it. It follows the normal rules of a general battle royale. So in yeah, they give a ton of shit to new players and old players got nothing. Wait, you mean for Apex? Oh man, feels like the Flash games of your childhood grew into a full-featured game, dude. It's true. It's true. They do be a real game though. They do be a real game in it. Also, Nuggy time. Alex, can I know how much you paid? Also, if you hear chewing noises, please tell me, because I really don't want to put that in your ear. I'm sorry in advance if you hear it. It was on Xbox? Hell yeah, Jade. If it's crossplay, then maybe we can play together sometime. I feel like it'd be a lot easier on controller. Oh man, night mode is so difficult. Okay. Oh, no, I want that. I'm gonna just yeet out of there because I have a magnum. And that's it. We don't talk about microtransactions. I know you spent hella money. I know. Oh god. Ah! I got him! I got him! Let's go! Get fucked. Sorry, get forked. I'm not sure if I could. You know, I should probably relook at the rules for this sponsorship. I looked at them 3 times. I literally had so much anxiety about all of this. I looked at all of the rules and stuff like 3 times, and I still have no idea what I read. I'm kidding. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do for it. $160? Excuse me? Bruh. I mean, to be fair, I've spent a ton on Valorant, so I understand. I understand that. I spent way too much money on Puzzle Pirates growing up, but to be fair, that also wasn't my money, so I didn't feel as bad about it. Sadie! How you doing? It's great to see you, Sadie. How you been? Actually cheaper than you thought they were? Oh man. And that's still a lot. Was it on sale maybe? It was the Watson one? Oh, yeah, yeah. I think I remember you getting it, actually. I wasn't looking! I wasn't looking at the game! Leave me alone! It was the Butson one. The Butson. Blah butt rage. You still have only spent 15 on Valorant? Paladin. Oh man. Paladins. Paladins is a money sink. It is cross? Hell yeah. We should play it sometime. Ooh, a Tommy gun. Oh man. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Leave me alone. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have any shields right then. Heck. I'm doing well, Sadie. Hope you're doing well too. Doing well, doing well. This is my first stream with our new sponsor. Heckin' Excite. Heckin' Excite. To see your 2020 2021 Twitch bill? Oh god, I don't think I want to know, Alex. I don't think I want to know. You've been heckin' supporting all the homies. Heckin' supporting all the homies, man. You actually sure you spent at least 2K on Paladins? Oh my. I mean, you know, in the long run though, that's not bad because you've been playing that game for a long time. I would say that I probably spent about that on Puzzle Pirates, I'm not gonna lie. Leslie! Hello, hello, how ya doing? How ya doing? Wait, so there's a thingy, and I'm wondering, like there's like a little milestone challenge thingy. I'm wondering if you have to find this in the actual game and dance next to it. I might try that. I might try that. We'll see. Oh gosh, there's so many people who've been playing since it was beta. Yeah. Wait, didn't we start at the same time, or did I start during the first season? I can't remember. Knowing the size of yours, you don't want to see stoves or hovels. Huh. Oh man. Oh man, stoves. Stoves for last year. I know what he dropped in one stream. I can't even imagine. Bring back the bushes, evil mojo. Wait, bring back. What do you mean bring back the Wait, did there used to be bushes that you could hide in? I don't remember. I don't remember that. I mean, I vaguely kind of sort of do. I'm gonna drop here. This seems decent. Think I started in season 2? Maybe. I might have. I don't remember. I have zero memory of most things. Oh, and Paladins! I thought you were talking about this game. I was like, I don't remember. Yeah, Paladins, yes. Come here! Go! No! Oh, man. Wait. Blue. Give me the blue. I don't care if it's broken. I will heal it. I will repair it. I will repair it! Speaking of 1 year, almost. Oh, wait, you mean you've almost been following for a year? Holy. I guess we did meet like a year ago now. Nutty. Absolutely nutty. Also, followage doesn't work. I need to set that up in Stream Elements. I keep thinking to do it, and then I just never remember. But if you click on your name, if you are not on mobile, I don't know if it works on mobile. If you click on your name, you can do it there. Oh man, today has been a heckin' day of all the pro streamer moments. I mean, no me. Thank you, follow the 28th of February? Oh man. That's coming up then. That's coming up. Wait. Need more. No, I need more tape. Needed a message to check. Penny? Penny? Also, I forgot to put my alerts on this one. Oh my god! Penny, thank you for the raid. Hold on. I forgot to put my alerts on here, I think. No, they're on here. They just didn't go off. Heckin' alerts didn't go off, man. I'm sorry. But how you doing, Penny? How you doing? You just loaded in. Oh my gosh. Oh, welcome in. Welcome in. I appreciate you. Hope the rest of your webbed game was lots of fun. It looked like such a cute game. I want to check it out. It was... Yeah, I bet you're tired. You need lots of rest after what you went through today. Wait. I heard people. Ah! Person! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Tape. Tape. Ah! Cleaned up. Let's go. Oh my god! Ah! No! I was trying I just switched my shoddy. Dang, 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 dang. You think you follow the 20th of February? I think I read that. Oh, you think you follow on your birthday, Shifter? Oh my gosh. Heckin' timing. Heckin' timing. Okay, what ha! I just want to eat tacos but not on stream. You know, that's a good excuse to stop streaming. Somebody sent me some unnamed food that I can't mention because sponsorship, but I got nuggies from Alex and I appreciate you. You can have one or a few. If everything goes right, you'll be celebrating your 1 year in the community with some Twitch friends? Hell yeah! Have fun, that'll be awesome. I almost showed the whole dang cup. Game is- yes, it's a very quick download for this game. It is a very small package. So we got Jade playing. We got probably Potion playing. Who else wanted to play with us? If you want to play, let me know. Let me know. Probably get on in like 10 minutes with other people. I just want to play a little bit. Just a little bit. Wait. Look at these hats! I want a hat! Game is a quick. Yeah, I read that. First time flying is heckin' nerves. Is it even your first time flying? Oh my gosh. That's awesome. It's really easy though, so don't worry. Hardest part is just getting through TSA on time. So make sure you get to the airport 2 hours early and you'll be a-okay. First time flying equals butts and nerve. Butts and nerve. Butt spot, gotcha. No! Haha! Got him! I don't have tape! No! I had to reload too! You'll fill, but if anybody else wants the last slots, there's alright. So we got Jade, we got Potion, potentially a Shifter, unless anybody else wants to join. All the flights are either 6 AM or 6 PM. Oh man. Is there an airport near you? Or is the closest one the one that's near me? Curious as to which one you'd be going through. As if butts might really come for the booty. All the butts are 6 AM or 6 butt. Oh man. As if it's the one near me and you're flying southwest, I highly suggest getting there way early because their machines for like self-check-in have been down. You have one in your city? Okay, that's what I was curious about. You know, I was gonna go there, but that blue AK would have been nice. That was a lot of people I don't want to deal with. Alright, let's see here. Ooh. Got ourselves a little SMG action. Let's go. Ooh, level 2, level 3. Okay. Level 3 armor already? Just off the bat. It's gonna be a good game, hopefully. I'm gonna jinx that. Okay. What do you guys think? You think we'll get top 10 this time? That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a top 10. It's only a 4-hour flight. Oh yeah. Wait, it's 4 hours all the way over there? I figured it would be not that long unless you have a layover or something. That's weird that it takes 4 hours to get there. Oh hi, welcome back. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You went to get your card? Gonna order pizza! Oh man. What kind? What kind you getting? What kind you getting? Get some with tomato sauce. Get the red sauce. There is one without labor. Oh, okay. That makes more sense then. I was like, I'm so confused. Woo, tape! I got tape. Tape for days. I think we're full on tape now, yeah. Hell yeah. Run from the storm! Run from the storm! No red sauce! Why no red sauce? Red sauce is good for you. For those who don't know, he's actually allergic, and I'm just making a joke. Oh, I forgot about the storm! I literally just said run for the storm and I forgot about the storm immediately! Oh no! Fuck! Fuck! What? Drago! Drago!
Raiders, welcome Raiders. I hope you enjoy your stay. We have lots of laughs and fun here, and no, you don't have to pay.
Oh my god!
We have a brand new friend with us.
Thank you so much for the follow. Oh my god. Drago, thank you so much for the raid. I'm sorry you had to witness my death, but welcome in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. How is everybody? Thank you so much for the follow. I'm Coog. How are you doing? Cupcake, welcome in. Welcome in. How is everybody? How is Apex? You did the Apex the whole time, right? Yeah. I see Apex. How's it going? How did it go? Did you win, son? Were y'all winning, son? Drago is carrying Gamer and you. Oh, Gamer, you were playing with him? Nice. Apex was great. You got four arena wins. Yo, we should play arena sometime. We only have one other friend that actually enjoys playing arena. Like everybody else hates it. Aye. Wait, Drago, have you seen Shifter? I can't remember. Internet fun and frustrating for you today, but Drago was some goated help. Hell yeah! We stand Drago. I'm glad that Drago helped you feel better. And hopefully everything else gets better for you. Oh man, that's a lot of noise. You play Apex to die with friends? Oh! Nah, I'm sure you're goated, Jade. I'm sure you're heckin' goated. Yeah, Drago, if you ever want to play arenas, I'm heckin' down. I also keep forgetting I have food here. Let's go! You're a baby FPS player. Nah, I bet you're pro. Jade, you're heckin' pro. No lie. Don't lie to me. Wow, I can't believe my own mod has never watched my stream. How dare you? How dare you never watch my stream? I'm joking. Don't cancel me. Yeah, anyways, Drago, thank you again for the raid. I appreciate you. And welcome in to everybody from the raid again. Hope you all have fun here. Hope you all have lots of fun here. Wait. I think I want that instead. Yeah. Okay. You got distracted by a web. Your tacos got cold. No. Penny, no. Not the tacos. Can you reheat them? Oh no. Fuck you. God. Why? Why? Oh man. Alright, I think I'm gonna do 1 or 2 more on my own, and then if y'all wanna join in, you're more than welcome to. Oh my god, Penny, it's so fitting that you have the Flareon badge. Also, to everybody who has come in recently, there's a lot of new stuff on the channel if you've known my stuff for a while. We got new panels in my about section. We got new bits badges. No, not bits badges. Those are in the works. We got new sub badges. We got a sponsorship. We got... What else did we get, guys? Can't remember. Oh, we got new emotes. Yeah. I think that might be it. And I might be getting a job soon. Less exciting. Exciting for myself. Less exciting for you guys. You could reheat them, but nah, I just like more hot sauce. Oh man. All the hot sauce. Y'all better not be teaming. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Break it up. Nah. Break it up. What? What? He has blue kiss. Heck. Y'all think he's gonna be teaming? I think they might be teaming. I'm watching for them to drop. I haven't seen them yet. I could be wrong. Hey, there's a marching band lamb though. Oh man, what if they just like go all the way to the top so that people don't see them as easily? Oh, my bad. Oh, box! Look at the little red box. Alright, we got a dart gun. Let's go. Alright. Oh, armor. Thank you, sweet armor. Quote: I only love 2 things, chicken nuggies and Lunchables. You know, I like my nuggies and Lunchables. And I have some nuggies thanks to you. Got him. What's that? Shotgun? Okay, shotgun. I don't want the broken one. I don't have an. I guess I have 4 tape. I'd rather save my tape though. I'll be okay. Let's see. What else can we find? Oh, wait, no, I have a blue one. Already. What? You need a blue one. Alright, what y'all think? Am I gonna get murked up here the second I get in the ring? Oh wait, I'm already in the ring. Look! Oh my gosh, Sinjin! How are you doing? Are you doing better? Ah, I got him! On my last bullet. Hope you've been doing better, Sinjin. And yeah, I know! I just got back on an SAR kick, like, literally 3 days ago. The bot is reusing the quotes! Wait, what do you mean? Oh, it played the second one again! Oof. You tell him, Alex. You tell him. Say, that's not nice. I'm actually not, but you won't bring down the vibe. Oh, it's okay, Sinjin. Sending you all the huggies, though. Huggies and nuggies. Oh, fuck! I didn't mean to click that. Oh man, it smells like a bean. That was when I did my sewathon and I kept doing the beans. Yeah, beans. You kill for nuggies? Alright. Here's a nuggie. Take the nuggie! Take it! Nom nom. Speaking of nuggie, I'm gonna eat a nuggie. Bro! What? What is that quote from, Alex? What is that quote from? Because I have zero clue what that quote is from, and now I'm concerned of my own speakings. Where are you coming from? All right. I think they're gone. They're not gone! No! Oh man. A leisure suit, probably? Maybe. It might have been. The box of beans is still... Yeah. No, the bean boozled beans are still right here. I don't know what to do with them. I told a friend I was gonna mail them, and I never got around to it. I'm a bad friend. Help. Are you really living if you aren't into butt stuff? Ooh woo. Ooh. Man. Oh, that's kind of cute. Hey, we could be a minion, but reverse. It's a reverse minion. Alright. Who all want to join? Cross-platform create. Jade, would you like to join? Potion, would you like to join? And if anybody else wants to join, if not, Shifter, would you like to join? There is our party code. You have a Marmite on your desk from over a year ago? You're refused to eat it again? Wait, what's Marmite? I've heard of it, but I don't remember what it is. Alright, then get on! Get on here, Potion! If you're gonna play, get on here. Jade's down? Alright. So, Jade and Potion, both of you, since it's cross-platform, you have to go into the cross-platform thingy when you click on the join thingy and type in U9YN. U9YN. You just got the computer, you've been following since the 24th. Hell yeah, Lissy. Let's go. That's coming up soon. Fun fact, 24th was my dad's birthday. It's the worst. The Marmite is? Wait, Marmite. Is it like Vegemite? Is Marmite like Vegemite? Are we gonna be full with that party? It depends on if Shifter wants to play or not. There's one slot. Okay. Then yeah, you could join us then, Sinjin, if you'd like to. It's similar to Vegemite. I've heard Vegemite's not great. Marmite is the British Vegemite. Oh, that makes more sense. How you play Potion? I just explained it. I just explained it. Go to the plus button. Hit the plus button. Go to the cross-platform play. Type in this. Fuck, hold on. Type in this code and then plus join. Jade's in! Hell yeah. So how this game works is you can't use any of the cosmetics unless you buy like the $5 or $15. I think it's $15. The $15 pass. But it's a super fun game even without the cosmetics. Except the milestone cosmetics, you can have a tie and a crown. I think the milestone cosmetics you cannot get. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, gotcha. So you can get everything except for those then, I guess. Like, you have a random chance of a drop sometimes. Also, Sinjin, why is your gym a different color? Does that mean you've played this hell a lot? Oh man. Oh man. I like your little lightsaber though, that's cute. By the way... Wait, what do you mean no? Not at all? No? I'm confusion then. I don't know what it means. Why is it a different color? Heck. Alright, does anybody want to join voice? You're new. Oh, maybe that's why. Wait. Are you pulling my leg? Nah, you can't be new. You can't be new. I think you're pulling my leg. Heck. Also, Sinjin, I can't remember if we're friends on Steam. I don't think we are. Oh, we are! What? We are friends on Steam. Yo! Okay, hold on. I'm going to your profile right now. 123 hours. Sinjin. 123 hours. You're not new. I'm looking at it. I like the marbles. You're down for voice? Okay, if you want to join voice, just hop in my server and join one of the voice chats. And then, I will drag you to the stream voice. Or Potion will drag you to the stream voice. One of the two. Apparently it might be because we're not good. What? What? Let me scam. Hold on. What? Hey, you drop a healing drone. Do it. Heal me. Heal me. Also, if you are going to be speaking, I'm going to send you a link so you can have on the subtitles too. That way people can read what you're saying. Josh? Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi, Josh. Really just wanted an animated background that was bright. You know, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, there's Potion. I'm sending you the link. There you go. Also, I just realized some of you might not have my Discord, so there's that. Also, there's the 15-minute reminder that we are sponsored by HelloFresh for a couple weeks. So if you would like to help support myself and check out some awesome new meals, you can go ahead and try out some HelloFresh. You get a little more than half off with my code. So it's really a heckin' steal. It's a heckin' steal. Imagine the bot trying to parse your English into subtitles. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Your English is fine. Sinjin, you liked HelloFresh? Oh man. See, we got another person that loves HelloFresh too. Erica liked it. Sinjin liked it. You're eating a messy burger. So you're just gonna be lurking for a bit, but you're back to chatting soon? Alright, sounds good. Sounds good. Oh, also, I forgot to do a thing, guys. For all you guys that are waiting to join game, do you mind if I do a thing real fast? I haven't ordered meals yet. That's actually what I might do real fast. If you guys are okay with it. If you're okay with it. Oh, we got Jade. Jade, I'm gonna send you a message too with the link, okay? If you plan to talk, that is. You have to open it on Chrome. Also, since you wait, are you on your phone or?
I'm on computer.
On computer? Okay. If you would like to be included on the subtitles, feel free to click on that. There's one that says loading. Who's loading?
Wait, you said it only works on Chrome?
Yes.
Oh no. I mean, this kind of uses Chrome.
Here, I'm gonna kick you out, and then you can open it up on Chrome.
Good. Okay.
Alright. I'm gonna order the food while y'all figure that out real quick. Sinjin, you're more than welcome to join voice too. And I'll send you the link for captions if you want to be included on captions as well. Firefox game. I know, I have Firefox too. Alright, we're gonna click on my link. Let me just, get my link back in chat so I can click on it. You're eating a messy burger, so you're gonna be lurking for a bit. No problem, no problem. Enjoy your burger. Your burger. Alright, alright, alright. Let me get it to load. This thing loads like 20 times because I have so many extensions on my my browser. Help. Alright. Let's see.
Come on, Microsoft Edge, you can do this.
Let's see if I got the aspector on this proper. Alright, we're gonna do window capture. We're gonna do
It
that.
says the caption link is invalid.
Oh no! Oh no! Wait, why is it invalid? Oh man.
Because you kicked me out.
No! No, I refuse! I refuse!
What?
Alright, alright. I think I got this. I will look at that. 1 second. Hold on. Ah! Pro streaming moments. Pro streaming moments. Ah! There we go. Okay. Oh, bam! Oh, you know what? I should probably hide the top of that, huh? That might be smart. That might be smart. There we go. And yes, I did just put it right over the game. Don't at me. This is a process. This is a process, folks. Alright, there we go. Please, I'm not gonna dox us. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna dox us. I'm not gonna put in any information whatsoever. Anyways. Alright, before you finalize it, you might want to go full screen. What do you mean? Oh, you mean like get off of this? Yeah, no, I'm going to disable the screen share before I put any of my information in. So don't worry. Don't worry. Anyways, this is if you click on the link, this is what you're gonna see, folks, okay? You can choose what kind of meals you want. So like for myself, I think I'm gonna do meat and veggies and the fit and wholesome. I'm not gonna do the quick and easy because we want like some really hearty meals, you know? And like when I get the full experience of HelloFresh, we have time to cook, you know? I'm also not a vegetarian or a pescatarian, and I want to try out some other things. So let's try out those. We're gonna be eating for 2 people, and I think I want to do the 4 people. So the smallest one you could get is a 2 people, 2 recipes. So it's like 2 servings of 2 different recipes. And that is $23 US with my code that brings it down like half the price. Heckin' steal! Heckin' steal! I bet you all go out and spend more than that on 1 meal. But I'm gonna do the 4 meals for a week and for 2 people. How'd you know the codes to your secret Minecraft base? Oh man, oh man, oh man. What are y'all talking about Minecraft? Sandy lives at 42069 Twitch stream. No, don't dox me! Don't dox me! You're back? You heard we doxing? We're not doxing. No. We're not doxing. You do be spending more than that. See? Sinjin agrees. Do be spending more than that. Command add pro streamer Santasia as a pro streamer. Don't worry, everything is going as planned. Oh no! Oh no! Oh man. Alright, so here's the description of these. Meat and veggies is the most popular. Veggie is all plant-based. Family friendly is kid tested and approved, I'm assuming. Fit and wholesome is balanced lifestyle. Quick and easy is for the busy weeknight. And pescatarian is seafood and veggies. And then it automatically applies the code for you, so you don't gotta worry about that. And it looks like you could also get another discount if you are a hero, which I'm assuming is like first responders and stuff like that. Yeah, here's the fit and wholesome stuff. That looks really good, actually. Ooh. Oh, wait, did you see that? There's like a chicken one. What was that? Whoa, 1 pot turkey? Okay, this creamy dill chicken though, look at that. That looks so good. Pecan crusted chicken? Oh my god. Okay, I'm excited now. I'm so excited! Oh my gosh. Wait, our complete weekly menus? This is a thing? Whoa! Okay, so you can see exactly what you're gonna get. Oh my gosh. So these are the things that you would get if you ordered this week. These are the menu items. Oh man. Firecracker meatballs? Ooh! Beefy taco soup? Boiger. Boiger! Oh look, there's the creamy dill chicken. Okay, we're getting that. We're getting that. Beef our... Oh, I can't speak French. Please, somebody help. Our potato au gratin. Let's go. That looks so good. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This all looks so good. This is all the different recipes that you can choose from for this week. Ah, tostadas. Steak and shallot sauce. Looks like potatoes too. Holy. I'm sorry for making anybody hungry. It's making me hungry. I have food here. I'm so sorry, Jade. I'm so sorry. Black pepper beef. Ah, okay. That makes a lot more sense. Oh, man. Also, by the way, if you use the code, not only does it directly support me, but you get like about half off of your plan price, as well as you get some free gifts, which could be like a dessert or an appetizer or a free recipe. So yeah, heckin' awesome. Heckin' awesome. I'm so excited. Alright. So now I have to register. So let me just kinda, you know, yeet myself real fast. Hold on. Let me just yeet myself out of here real fast and then we'll select our menus. SimplySantasia@gmail.com. Y'all can know that email, I don't care. It's public knowledge. You can't know my password though. That is not public knowledge. No thanks. No thanks. Why can't you see me register? Yeah, I wonder why you can't see me register, you know? Just, it's kind of a secret. It's a secret. Can't know. It's a super secret knowing my stuff club. Okay. Wait, text message and calls? No, I don't want promotional text messages. Not right now anyways. Emails are fine. Text messages and calls? Nah. Alright. First delivery would be on Tuesday, so we can... Wait, will that work? I wonder if I can, like, tell it when to deliver, because I'm not sure if that would work. It might. To deliver on Tuesday? Because if we're gonna be leaving on Thursday. As we could make 2 of the meals. A con. Yeah. Use PayPal, please. Thank you. It's a secret. Can you get the wacky 3 digits on the back of the credit card? No. You mean like your real info? Yes. Your real name is Santesnovskiwa? Huh? Oh, what? Yes. Alright, can I edit? Oh, shit. JK, we just did it. We just did it. Also, I think that I didn't put... No, I put the alerts on here. It just didn't do a thing. Anyways, my number went up by 1 because I did a thing. Alright. You customize them before Thursday, February 17th. Oh wait, our delivery's on the 22nd. Wait, I'm confused. What is today? Oh, today's the 17th. Okay, so on the 22nd we're getting delivered. Wait, man. It's behind the banner. Why did it go behind the banner? I put them on the corner up over there. I'm so confused as to what's happening. You swore you had one here. Wait, Leslie Lurk? Oh no, you never made one for here. I don't think. Alright, I can go back to the other one now. I can go back to the other one. Y'all can see this now. Alright, so do we want... Wait, hold on. Actually, before I do that, let me edit delivery. Let me see if I can get it delivered to a different... No, I cannot. Wait, can I reschedule? Can't make this week somehow? Nah, it's okay. We can do this week. We can do it. Okay. Do we want chicken sausage spaghetti bolognese, firecracker meatballs, brown sugar bourbon pork chops, or shroom and Swiss pork burgers? Wait. Oh, these are all the extra meals. Your real name is Potion Lotion Commotion. Oh my god. The pork chops are fire. Ooh, okay, pork chops. One. Wait. Oh wait. Wait. Oh, that adds extra. Oh, we get all 4 of these. So this is the ones that we're getting. Oh. So wait, what if I minus one? Like if I didn't want this or the meatballs or something, I put another one in. Shrimp tempura. Yo, wait. Oh man. We're learning together, folks. We're learning together. Ooh, chicken sausage and chickpea. That sounds good. For those of you who have had HelloFresh, what else do you... Oh yeah, we can swap with the ones below. Okay, cool. Yes, these are the ones that we can get for the week. Hi, Big Slice! Yes, we're looking at our HelloFresh stuff. We got sponsored by them, and for the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be talking about HelloFresh. We're gonna be cooking some meals and reviewing them. Oh man, these all look so good! I don't know how you can even choose. How can you even choose? The more fancy meals are like $2 more meal. I mean, that's fine. That's totally fine. Ooh, cauliflower rice. You wanna try that? Wait, that says takeout favorites. Probably not then, right? I don't know what that means. Hall of Fame, brown sugar bourbon. Okay, we gotta try that then. So then we'll take out. I'll take out the meatballs. I don't think we need to trade meatballs, dude. No, it's gonna be spicy too.
I would take those over the
Oh yeah? Okay.
first one.
Well, what about...
Try the shrimp tempura and take out the burger.
Take out the burger? The burger? Okay. Let's...
They're not so-
Yeah. Well, that adds a lot though. That's a lot of money. Yeah, let's get rid of that.
Up to you.
Nah, I'm good.
Ramen?
Where?
Oh, that's also
Yeah.
$9.
It adds more. Ooh. Ah, thank you, Lassie. Thank you, Big Slice. I appreciate it. You just got out some stuff from the fridge. Oh my gosh. Everyone here has HelloFresh and loves it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to try it. Ooh, wait, what about this dill chicken?
Dill chicken.
Yes, let's do that. Okay. Heck yes. Wait, what about the other one? Did the other one add stuff?
Yeah, did
Like $8. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. $1. Alright, so we got meatballs, we got pork chops, we got dill chicken, and we got bourbon chicken. I'm excited! To add to their customer service is pretty awesome too. Really? Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited then. Alright, I'm gonna get off of the screen just in case it shows my information. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm just so scared of doxing myself. Ooh! Oh, they're sold out of the cookie dough. Okay, so it looks like after that, you can also... Oh no, not the Xbox furs! We can always get you back in, Jade. You've been using it for like 2 years? Whoa, that's so awesome. The no, not the Dunkaroo, the Annie's chocolate chip cookie dough. So it looks like you can add on some extra stuff too, like appetizers and desserts. Oh man. Ooh, cheesecake. Ooh, we can add on extra meat. Add on pastas. Oh, you can add on like a donation thing. That's so sweet. Oh my gosh. If I were to get anything though, it would be the cookie dough and Sag. They don't have any. They had Dunkaroo cookie dough last week or the other week. Oh man, I'm so sad that we missed that week. All right. Just want to make sure that there's no information. Okay, we'll receive 4 meals estimated on Tuesday, February 22nd. Alright. Ah! Okay, so it looks like your free rewards come as you get more boxes. So if you keep your subscription, then they'll give you free rewards. That's awesome. I love it. I'm so excited! I'm so excited! Alright guys, we did it! We did it! We ordered our first HelloFresh meal. I am excited! What did you guys order for this week? Alright, alright. So, for the captions, folks that are on here, I'm sending you the captions link again because it looks like the link changed. Yes, thank you. Hello. Alright, so Jade. Let's get you back in here. U9YN. It is very wide. There's Shifter, by the way. They do special holiday boxes and seasonal boxes too, like a Christmas dinner thing and summer barbecue. Ooh. That sounds so nice. Oh my gosh. Also, if anybody after seeing that would like to get their own HelloFresh box, there's a link just for you. It does directly support myself, but you also get a heckin' steal of a deal. So thank you all for coming to my TED Talk. Jade, are you still there? And Potion, are you there? Oh, I was muted in Discord. Jade and Potion, are you guys still there? You guys are also muted, by the way, if you didn't know.
I'm here, I'm here.
Yep, that was. I knew it.
Oh, you're a robot too.
Am I?
Yeah, you were. Oh,
What?
I typed a 6 when I was filling out stuff, and 6 mutes my mic. That's why. So I resent the thingies for you guys, the links for the captions if you want to use the captions. If not, that's okay. But
Yeah, I think I did.
cool. Oh, Potion?
What's up?
I saw yours on there, but then it went away.
Yeah, I decided against it because no work good for me. So
Oh,
we're just gonna
okay.
past it. Yeah.
You're good, you're good. Josh, yes, it's amazing. It's so much fun. I like it a lot. Also, Jade, the code to get back into the game is U9YN.
Thank you, thank you. It's still loading.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm
You're fine.
almost there.
Yeah, Josh, it's free. It's a really fun game. Feel free to stick around and check it out while we play it. UY9 hell, what? Oh my gosh. Alex says U9YN. Nah.
I'm in. I'm back.
Yay! Alright.
There we go.
Oops. There we go. Accept squads. We got it! So whenever you guys are ready, hit the ready up button. Oh, you guys did it in unison. That was so cute. What the heck? Also, if do you guys care if I talk to chat unmuted, or would you prefer I mute?
You're all good. I don't mind that.
You're
Though.
fine.
Okay, cool. If anything sounds out of balance, let me know.
I'm just thinking about how we're gonna be in a huge fight, and then I'm gonna hear my doorbell, and it's gonna be pizza. And I'm gonna dash for the pizza as I'm getting shot.
Your family can get it. It's alright.
Family?
Yeah.
I'm pretty much the only one here.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Josh, do you need to pay rent to be here or not? Oh, I accidentally just dropped.
Okay, I guess we're dropping here.
We
Uh-oh.
follow the green usernames.
I'm sorry. That's my fault. I did
Did it on purpose.
I
Trying to kill us.
I'm used to just immediately dropping, and that's not the play here.
Oh, there's someone up here. Ooh, oh really? He got me? No! I'm dead.
I'm on my way. Got him. Let's go. I also
He had teammates.
wait.
I don't know where they went.
Wait.
Oh, whoa. Wait, do I
What?
shoot this little rat here?
What?
Wait, did he crawl away?
I think so.
Oh wait, yeah, he's crawled. Wow, he's fast. Oh my.
He is
What?
very fast. What the heck? Die!
Oh, there's a third.
No! Get him, Jade! Knock him out!
Yeah, Josh, you
shoot
got it.
Yeah! There you go.
This
Alright.
is Fortnite, but with
Now-
animals. You're right.
Now come to me and hold down the revive button on me.
Oh,
There
Wait
you
till Josh
go.
see.
woo!
Josh, wait till you see the building
Yay.
mechanic. It's crazy in this game.
Yeah, Josh is it's just like any other battle royale. It's a top down. It's really cute. Oh my gosh, Ghost! Ghost, hi! I'm sorry, I have to run. I have no health.
Well, I'm crawling. Oh,
Did they
I'm
finish
dead.
you?
yeah.
I
Where's
can't
my health
aim.
anyways?
Is that an Angry Bird?
Oh no! Sinjin, carry us! Carry me, Sinjin. Oh no! Oh man, butt spot. Butt spot. Also, I need to look at what you actually redeemed. Myung! Myung, Ghost, Myung! Hope you're doing well. Gosh! Hope I'm well. Hope you're well. I'm doing well. I appreciate you. Great to see you. You had no good oh my gosh, why am I burping? You had no good weapons? I had an SMG and a shotty, which are alright. But there's a lot of people there. I had no healing items, that was my problem. Okay, let me see what Buttspot got you with. Buttree, let me rephrase that. Like every other battle, rebuttal on the Marbutt. Oh man. But yeah, Josh, I highly recommend this game. Hashtag not sponsored, but maybe one day.
Dude, in the meantime, you can just cut grass.
Yeah, exactly. So fun fact,
I'm really good at that.
in that loading menu, you can go anywhere on the map. that you can in the normal game. I hit E! Oh my god!
Oh,
Just
Guess
go
what's
without
happened?
me! Go without me!
oh no.
I literally meant to hit M, but I hit E on accident!
Oh, there's so many people here. You really are getting us killed.
I'm so sorry, Jade, that this has to be your first experience.
It's okay. It's okay. It's no
God.
different from my usual play.
Oh
we're
my
together. We're together.
Oh no, I'm down already.
No, Alex, I'm not throwing. I'm not throwing. Yeah, we were together. I don't know where Potion went.
What? I win the same place. We're on the same area. You just went outside.
Hey, that's the same guy. Oh.
No. No. Switch to a gun.
I can't believe you're throwing like this.
I'm not throwing. I promise. I promise I'm not throwing.
Just feeding us to the sharks right now.
No, I'm feeding myself French fries. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I get those mixed up a lot. Sharks, French fries, same thing, really. Kind of look the same.
Oh my gosh, Loyal! Loyal, hello! How are you? Hope you're doing well. You're even wanted to drop, and then we drop her. I'm so sorry. I'll keep my hand off the E button this time, okay? Simply throw
Make
Tater
sure
Shot,
press the
no!
E again, or three.
No! I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I'm doing okay.
Whoa, that's a goat.
Today's
Wait a
been a
minute.
great day. It's been a great day. I like it a lot.
What?
A good day. Yo, okay, the goat's outfit though. Look
It's
at it.
awesome.
Uh-huh. I want it.
Goat. Give me.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Banana!
These little bananas.
Banana!
We had a banana.
You have to unlock the banana first.
And you have to
Ye-
pay for it, too.
Wait, you had to pay for the banana?
Yeah, it's a milestone.
Somersault around you.
I forgot even how we got the banana. I know we had to go talk to the banana. Banana.
Alright,
But he
my
already
hand
talked to the banana.
my hand is not on the keyboard. Which one are we going to?
Here.
There? Okay. My hand is not on the keyboard. It's not on. I'm not touching it. Not
Don't press
touching it. I'm not gonna press it. Sinjin pressed it. It's not me. It wasn't me this time.
I think they got it mixed up. I think it was you.
No.
The game just was confused. Yeah.
No, it wasn't
yeah.
me.
Yeah, no, it was you. The game was just confused for a minute.
Oh.
Oh man, I didn't read what you
There's
said.
full damage. My bad.
Hold on. No, I don't think you got damage from it. It just knocks in your butt for a hot second. Alright, what'd you say? You have to pay for the
Solid
bananas
rock,
when I tell the
your
girl on
clothes.
the first day!
The
No!
fox over here.
That was a good one! Why was that so good? Oh my god! Banned!
They're so cute with their shotguns.
I'm kidding, you're not banned.
Oh, what is
Never,
this
never
thing?
banned. How did I get over there? Oh no.
What is that thing? Huh?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Wait, I want that. There we go. Meow.
I'm ashamed. No one has complimented me on my maid outfit right now.
Oh, Sinjin is pinging things. I'm dumb. Thank you.
Oh.
Appreciate.
Pinging.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Stream Elements, for promoting our sponsorship once again. I appreciate. By the way, if we get 5, I'm gonna give away one. If we get 10, I'll give away another one. Oh. There we go.
Oh, so many grenades.
I didn't need that.
Oh.
My brain just paused for a hot second, and it was like, "Do I need that?" I
was
actually
thinking it just to be malicious.
no. I literally sat here for like the entire time I was there. I just stared at it because I was like, "What am I doing here? Do I need this? What is this?" Hold on.
I'm glad I took it then.
I
helped you. I
actually,
helped you figured it out.
I actually just broke for a second. No, Alex. Alex, no. Ah, wait, there's people! Ah,
Wait, where?
down. Down. I was reading chat, and also I look over, and there's just people staring at me. I'm like, oh no. Ah, Ghost! Thank you so much for that
I knocked
biddies!
one.
I don't know why the HelloFresh alerts aren't working, but I think I'm
can't
gonna go back
hear
to my own alerts, because they just aren't working properly. Thank you so much for that biddies. I appreciate you.
I hear them over there.
8 bits.
I knocked one. They probably picked
8
them up.
bits.
Thank you, Potion.
Yep.
What? How?
knocked him
How
again.
did I just get her?
Oh, I threw a banana. They
Run,
stepped
Jade.
on it.
Run, Jade. There's a button that
Yeah,
you
don't
can
step on
press
bananas.
that makes you roll and makes you like
There's
move a
a
little bit
Bananas,
faster.
okay.
Yeah, bananas are not very.
Oh wait,
high
I'm
in
muted. Oh
potassium.
no.
They're bad for you.
So
Oh,
Jade,
no.
there's a button
Oh,
that you
no.
can press that can let you roll and lets you move faster.
Wait,
It's space-
what is this button?
You
don't know.
can't do it
I'm
right
not
now.
controller.
You can't do it while you're crawling, but while you're like running around, you can.
Is it the little somersault one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you can run from the You can
can run
from
and
the
shoot?
gas. No, you can't shoot, but you can run from the gas faster.
Okay. Catch.
I need tape. Ow. Oh, they have a sniper.
Favorite store is evolving.
sorry about
Five
this, son.
below now. Wait. Oh, favorite store now sells
gotta
Joy
run.
Cons. What? Yo, I heard Five Below raised their prices,
Oh,
or was
no.
it Dollar General? It might have been Dollar General. But Five Below's been offering so many good things. It's crazy. Wow, then. Alright, we got it. We got this next one. We got this next one.
Ready.
Ready.
I just need 123 more for my frog. That's it. That's it. Oh no. Shen's gone.
Oh. Oh no.
Wait.
Watch a show
Zenjin.
with my friend. Thank you for the games.
Ah, what show are you watching? I must know. I must know. They all did the accommodation, no one can help it. Yeah, that's very true. But Sinjin, thank you so much for playing with us. I'm sorry that we waited so long that you were able to play that many, but it was a lot of fun. Called Reacher on Amazon Prime. I've never heard of that. You'll have to tell us how it is. You have to tell us how it is. Write us a whole review. Well, have
Amazon
fun.
Prime's pretty stupid.
What?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. What'd you say?
Oh, just Amazon Prime shows are usually good.
Ooh, I've never watched any of their shows. Yes, Sinjin, have fun. Take care. Have a good night.
Well, Potion, look at your outfit.
Yeah, I'm Firefox, but I'm Royal Firefox.
Oh, you got Spiffy.
Yeah.
Spiffy, spiffy, spiffy.
Spiffy swoopy. So we do have another spot open if anybody else would like to join after this game. Just let me know. Just let me know. I like how my caption just said 11 no.
Josh just screaming. I'll join.
Josh will join, yeah.
Scaring
Yeah.
me.
Download it right now. Download it right now. Do it. Do it. Oh my gosh, is that a honey ducky? Is that a honey ducky? wait, no, Alex, stop it. Alex, stop it. I don't have a Prime command. Guys. Yes, thank you for shouting out Ducky's Spotify. Go check out their music on Spotify. Heckin' poggers.
She has a rose. Can she kill me with the rose?
Yes.
That's so sweet.
Ducky just cleaned their house. I'm proud of you, Ducky. That's a heckin' accomplishment. Let's go to the spot we always die in. Oh, JK, we're going there.
Oh, okay.
Drop now.
I'm just following the birdie with the crown.
Woohoo.
You scream because you were gonna ask to join, but you're like, nah, you won't intrude. That's not intrude. Oh god, no. Oh god, no, wait!
Oh, that was quick. I just landed.
I didn't even look before I hit the free fall button. I was just like, ooh, AR.
What?
There's a-
They just
Wait,
phased out of
wait.
view somehow.
There's a gun.
Wait.
There's an enemy on the bird. There's an enemy on the.
How does
Birdie,
that
please
work?
come back.
How does that work? I'm so confused.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna let him ride. All right, that was my.
Oh my god.
No, there's so many bananas. I want this.
Look, there's my dead body.
Where's
Wait,
this
go get him. He's up there. He's off of it. He's off the
happening?
emu.
I'm going.
Get
I'm
him.
going.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. One of them's down. Ducky, I'm heckin' proud of you for cleaning your house. Sounds like you had a productive day and a half. Oh, by the way, Ducky, I have so many new things. We got new sub badges. So look at your badge. It matches your name, at least on my screen it does. I think that your name is actually Pingo, but I think the BTTV is messing with the colors.
1 second.
But yeah, I got new sub badges. I got new About Me panels. I got a sponsorship. And what else did I get? Oh, I got interviews for a new job, potentially. So yeah, I'm excited. Okay, all right, Josh. You have it downloaded. Big question. Thank you. Yeah, interview is not stream related, but the sponsorship is. Alright, hit the plus button. Click on cross-platform and type in U9YN. And then hop in the Discord. Oh wait, looks like you might already be in the Discord. You're already in the Discord!
Hi.
Hello?
Wait, hi.
Hi!
Do I need to make an account to play?
I have zero clue.
Alright, let
Yes.
me do this first.
John with the emoji is so cute. Oh my goodness. Thank you for showing your support with all the emojis. I appreciate it. Lurking while you take a nap. Have a great nap, Penny. Get lots of rest. You deserve it. You need it.
Earned a bow tie.
You said cross-platform?
Yeah.
What was the code?
U9YN.
Okay. Oh,
Okay. Alright. Ready. Oh my gosh.
I'm going into this blind. I've never played.
Oh, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
It's real cute.
Maybe you guys
It's
will.
just-
Oh, sorry.
Huh?
What you gonna say?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh.
I'm just gushing over how cute this is.
Right? It's so
Okay.
adorable. But hopefully you guys will bring like the lobby MMR down.
Oh, I'm good at doing that.
Heck yeah!
I feel that.
Ooh, did we get something new researched? I don't remember what we were working on. Oh no. Oh no. Wait. Super Wolf and Super Boar and Super Lion. Ooh. Wait, that's kind of cute.
Oh, is Potion grabbing his pizza?
I think so. Ooh, okay, there's a deer that is like multicolored. Yeah, that one. It's super cute. I like it so much.
I can
Um,
be a bear with a gun. This is a good game.
heck yeah, do it.
Love it.
Oh no, Happy Tree Friends! Oh, John says this game is giving them Happy Tree Friends vibes.
Happy Tree Friends. So good.
How do I roll?
Spacebar off your own computer.
Spacebar.
Hey.
Oh
I
my
think I
gosh.
saw this game on Switch. I'm gonna have to get it on there too.
It's on Switch
Oh,
too?
It's on Switch?
I
Oh, it
thought
has
I
on
seen it on there. It could
Heck
be a
yeah.
different game, but it looks like it.
I wonder if they have cross save.
I think that's why I had created an account because it said I couldn't cross save or whatever.
Oh, that makes
If I didn't-
sense. That make a lot of sense.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you.
Oh, you're fine. Oh wait, you were on me. My bad.
Oh, just someone.
Oh my god, this deer with the mustache and mushroom shirt is so cute. I love this game.
Oh, this is a great decision. I'm so glad I finished my homework early today.
Heck yeah. Oh wait, we need to choose a spot. Death.
Death.
Death. What is
Yeah.
death?
Yeah, death.
We have made our decision.
Where is that? What?
Jump now. Go up.
Oh, jump now? Okay.
Yep, go up. Just keep going.
I didn't mean to fall so far.
Oh no. What'd you do?
I don't have
You're
an
all the way
umbrella
down
on my
there!
screen.
Wow, now Potion is thrown.
Hella throwing.
You say that, but I'm about to get 4,000 kills.
Wait.
You won't.
Oh. Okay, got it.
Oh, okay. You scared me there, Josh. You just kind of spawned.
I
It's
do that
out of nowhere.
sometimes.
Oh, by the way, you can combine 2 pistols and a dualies if you want to as well. Not the Magnum, but the actual pistols.
Oh.
Yeah, so you pick up one, and then you pick up another one, and it makes dualies.
Here.
People? People? Where?
Yep, up there.
Where?
I hit him. He's
I
in
keep
there.
forgetting WASD doesn't like change the way I'm facing.
I hit
Oh,
him!
they're everywhere.
I hit him! Wait! Oh, it's an emu!
Crap.
I did not expect in this game to be down so quickly.
Quick armor strap! No! No! Help!
Daddy, no!
I got one of them!
Josh! No!
Oh no, Jade!
I need a better gun. How do I? No.
You got this.
Where's this guy?
I have
I'm
2
back.
bullets on my SMG.
I
Is
have
it-
no ammo. You live another day.
Press Q, press Q.
Oh, Q?
That's how you heal.
Oh, nice.
And
I
then-
think.
And then C refills your armor if you have tape. you go.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna pick up this.
Oh!
Their kill noises are so
Disqualified.
cute.
You know what? Not bad for my first time. I got it down. I'll take it.
Alright. I might be able to do one, maybe 2 more games, and then I gotta call it.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
But I might be back on this later tonight.
Woo! Yeah, this is fun. I love it. Can we add each other in the game?
That's
What,
a good
I don't know.
question.
Oh, are we all dead? Did we click leave?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can. Oh.
Well, okay.
We can ping.
Oh yeah, how do you ping? I haven't figured that out yet.
I press Z.
Well, I'm on X.
Yeah, Z.
Yeah, I don't know what
Oh.
controller is. Press all the buttons.
Yeah, that's what I do when I can't figure out controllers.
Clicking the analog stick.
Let's try farm maybe?
Oh.
Alright, tell me when to jump, because
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, I see it.
Wait, who's orange?
No one.
You? I think it's you.
No, you.
Not-
You.
Alright, go now.
No?
Let's go!
I'm blue. No, I'm purple.
I don't remember what color I was.
Oh, I'm
Orange.
orange, I think. But you're also an orange.
There's 2 oranges, yeah.
Not. I think you was telling lies, telling stories,
There's 2 oranges. There's one lighter and one darker orange.
telling
SMG?
stories.
Not stories, truthies. Yeah. There we
Truthies?
go. Yeah.
Men just say truthies.
Yeah, I did. And I'm sticking with it.
Oh, I can.
Oh, there's a dude over here.
It's so cute.
Wait, where are
Where
you?
do we go? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Wait, where is anybody?
I don't know, I saw a dude and that's it. He like ran away from me.
Oh, hey,
Alright,
Josh.
fine.
Oh,
Jag.
Josh is orange.
Jag.
Jag? I want a jag.
Jag.
They have a jag? You have a jag.
No.
Nice.
I have a jag.
Nice.
I can ride this hamster ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can also shoot you out of it.
Leave me alone, I'm vibing. Vibing with the hamster
So
ball.
if you run over people, it one-shot KOs them. Unless they have level 3 armor, then it's 2 rolls.
That's actually pretty cool. I might run somebody over.
Do it.
Let's go commit insurance fraud.
Hell yeah. Alright, where are all the people? Let's get them. Ah! I shot. I'm sorry, that was me.
Oh, I'm like,
No. Get that tape.
I thought, oh no.
Ow.
Oh, you're in a ball too?
Yeah. Ow.
Yeah.
Let's
Ball
go!
Ow.
Oh,
Ow.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck in some crops. I am
wanted
a
that.
very bad driver when it comes to these hamster
Oh
balls.
no! Oh no! Run! Storm!
Oh, I'm stuck.
Ow.
Storm! It's an obstacle
Exit.
course!
Exit.
Ow. There's. I can see people.
Oh
I'm gonna die. I'm stuck. Oh, oh.
no! Person! Help!
Where?
Right there! Help!
Oh. Yo, watch this. I'm cracked. No, they shot me out of it. That's very weird.
Ah,
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Somebody.
It's okay.
Weird thing.
It's okay. I'm coming. I'm
No.
coming.
I died.
Knocked him.
ah.
Was there anybody else over
No,
there?
he's almost dead up there.
Coming. No. Stupid bubble.
No, no.
Oh, y'all. Oh, my.
I got a knockdown though. No.
Just pick.
Not
Yeah.
me, not
How do I?
There you go.
Oh no! Watch
Oh
out!
no.
Ah!
me.
So close.
Ooh, achievement, first kill.
Alright.
Don't worry, this costume will give us.
I think I'll probably be able to do one more. So, I have plans to play a game with people tonight, but I don't think they're ready yet.
Okie dokie.
We just vibe. Oh my gosh, I love that little pet. It's so cute. Also, it's the purple squirrel. Excuse me?
Mhm.
I want a purple squirrel. Wait, is that their gym?
Oh, wrong person. Can I not hit potion? Oh, sad day.
Nope.
I have a new gym, by the way. Potion, where are you at?
How'd you get a new gem?
I leveled up. See, look. I have a new
How
gym.
do how do I emote, by the way? I
V.
did it. Oh, I found it. Yep.
V.
I'm a default Danny over here.
V. Frogs. Froge. We should go bamboo. Yeah. Yeah. Because we had great luck there before, so we should go there again.
Are things expensive in this game?
Real money wise or fake money wise?
Not like real money. Like,
If you want to be able to use cosmetics, it's $15. A battle pass is $5.
that's not bad. Oh, are we ejecting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so there's a team here at Bamboo as well. So I'm gonna drop outside of Bamboo. That way I don't die immediately.
Ah, potion took my gun. Very
There's also a
mean.
box.
How
here.
dare he?
Yep.
Wow.
That's what we're gonna do.
Wow.
Well,
That's
you
why I was
better
hired.
clutch up with that gun. There's a guy on me, potion. There's two guys on me, potion. Come back with the
Alright.
gun you stole.
Oh god, there's 3. There's not 2.
Well, there was two.
The whole team. I killed one. The other one's
man.
almost
I think
dead,
I got
too.
one down as well.
Oh no, he's almost dead over here. He's finishing me off.
Where?
Up
No, no!
there.
No.
Sorry, my bad. I'm trying to find something. So.
Oh no! There's a whole other team!
Well, GG's.
No.
Yep, I'm dead. Hey, yo. Oh, I'm moving.
You got this. You got this, Josh.
Oh, I'm moving.
You got this, Josh.
Move it.
No!
Oh, Are we all dead?
yeah.
Oh.
Hey, we placed 14th though. Let's go.
Hey.
I think there's only
Hey.
15 teams.
I just want to
Don't
put out
say
there
that.
that if Potion didn't steal that gun, I would have clutched up. That's
Listen,
all
I
gotta
killed
say.
at least 8 of them during that, so.
You killed
Oh.
one.
Yeah, but like 1 is like close to 8, so. You know.
Is it?
Not even close.
Yeah, it's only 7 away.
So if
That's
you have,
pretty close.
if you have $1 and you want to buy an $8 product, somebody's gonna let you.
Well, they probably won't let me. I'll still get away with it, but they won't let me. So yeah, kind of.
I don't know about that one.
If you run fast enough, anything's free.
This is true.
See? I wanted to change costumes.
Frenchy fries.
I just finished my French fries. They were good.
I'm eating pizza.
I got a cookie.
Cookie?
Mm-hmm. Oatmeal cookie.
Oh,
That sounds so good, actually.
oatmeal cookies always do me dirty. I always think they're like chocolate chip, and I go for them, and then they're oatmeal, and I'm like, oh, why?
I used to do that all the time.
It's just not a nice surprise. It's like, it's
It-
bad.
It's happened so many times it made me like the cookie.
Oh, I hate oatmeal cookies.
There you go.
Learn to love it.
Wait, is he live? Oh, okay, okay. Will do, will do. John, oh my god! Wait, are you ace too? Heck yeah. I like that one. I love all of those pride emojis. Let's go to there. Yeah?
So where? I don't know, but we're gonna do it.
You don't get.
Alright, this will be my last one. Looks like the gang is all getting ready to go.
We'll die fast.
Tell me
No, no,
when.
no. Don't worry about dying fast. Win fast.
Alright.
Win fast.
Win fast. There you go.
Bless you.
I'm gonna win slow.
Somebody behind
Yeah.
us.
No, 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 no.
Someone's
No, no, no,
inside
no,
the
no.
pyramid with me.
Come here. Come here. Ah.
I can see you guys getting me addicted to this already, and I kind of hate it, because then I'm gonna spend like money on it.
Woo!
Wait, can I heal
Die,
you?
wait, why can't I heal?
Oh, there's a reindeer over here.
No.
There's a dead reindeer over here.
Did you
Wait,
shoot
how do I
me?
switch? How do I
No.
switch?
Yes.
I want
Hi.
to.
How do you switch to what?
I forgot how to switch my What do you call it?
Are you up it?
Weapon.
Potion, what
Oh,
did I
okay,
say
there
about
we go.
shooting reindeer?
I'm allowed to do it if it's in self-defense,
If it's in self-defense, exactly.
which it was because I planted the knife on it. Just
Hey.
like I was taught.
Josh
I don't
and
think
Jade,
that's-
come up to here where I am real quick.
Wait, what am I do?
Come inside here real quick.
How do I get there?
Your left.
Wait, my left?
Your left. Oh, I guess there was a opening on the right too. Jade, come over here real quick.
I'll get there soon enough. Where's the opening? Can I
There's
go
the
through
door.
these boxes?
Yeah, hit him.
Hey,
Hit him, hit him, hit him.
Alright, come in here. Talk to the Doge.
go to the doge.
Talk to the Doge.
Yo,
You'll get
Alright, so-
something that you can't use right now,
Oh.
but
how do I legit don't even know.
hey,
Oh,
it's
E.
it's the egg gun that you like.
Mhm.
You have one?
I have bird gun.
Oh, there's somebody.
Ah,
Ah!
What am I even carrying right now?
Yo, come on, man. I was trying to
That
talk to
shoots
the
out
doge.
eggs. Don't step in it.
No!
Don't step in it. Run!
Oh no, my health is.
oh, he's down here.
I can't swim.
Oh my god, oh
Nope.
my god, oh my god.
They downed me.
Oh, I'm down. Good luck, guys. Don't
I got him.
sacrifice
I'll
yourself.
try. Well, stop moving. Don't move. Don't move, Josh. It's just the first storm. It should be okay, right? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Press Q, Josh. Press Q. Press Q.
It's supposed
You
to
can
be
walk.
down though, but
Yeah,
I knocked
but
someone.
like it'll let
I
you get
knocked two. I
out.
killed a team.
Press space, Josh.
I killed a whole team, guys. Where were you?
We were dying.
um,
Run again. Keep running.
That's
Run,
not
run,
the
run.
thing to do.
Run, run, run. Run, run, run.
leave potion behind.
Oh, you're Grace
Wait,
and Demi. Oh, nice. That's good to know. Oh, there's people here. There's people here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah!
I think
You're
there's.
like a
Help!
ping pong ball.
Help!
What was a bad idea? What was a bad idea?
I don't know if I could pick you up in this storm.
Let's keep,
No, run.
Okay.
Just run.
Just-
Just run.
keep going.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Keep swimming.
Oh
Oh,
no!
God.
Oh, they used the campfire.
Oh, I see. Sorry for the ad. Oh, wait. You can see that on stream right now.
And we can see the ad on the stream.
Yeah. Wait, has this been on the whole time? Have you guys not seen the game the whole time?
I don't know actually.
Oh my
I'm not
god.
sure.
Cause I know I
playing.
saw it for like I saw your stream for a second and I didn't have it up, so but
Okay, well,
after
good.
that, I don't know.
Ooh, I got something
Also,
good.
Alright.
Sash, that ad is getting double advertisement.
That's okay. I have it up because that's who we're reading anyways. But anyways,
Alex.
thank you guys so much for playing.
Thanks for letting me play.
Thanks for inviting.
Yeah, we should all play again sometime.
I'm down.
Yes, I'm so down.
Yeah,
Me
I-
too.
you guys got me addicted to it already, so
It's so much fun, and you guys can keep playing too if you want to.
I probably
Okay.
like study, but how? Wait, oh, that's what I was
gotta
trying to
hop
figure out.
Yeah.
Alright,
If you guys if any of you are down later tonight, I probably will be on. We'll see. I don't know how late I'm staying up though. We'll see.
Let's see. Okay.
Have a good night.
bye.
it
Good
easy.
night.
Bye. Oh, Ducky, you like this scene? This is one of the other new things. This is one of the other new things that we have. It's super widescreen. I think I might there's Shifter. I might ask them if they have like a smaller ratio one, but yeah. Evie is so cute with the flower, right? I love it so much. I love it so much. So I found this picture on Canva, like the background picture, and then I edited it to make it like blurry and like more HD, and then I just put all the other stuff over it. But yeah. Anyways, guys, we're gonna show some love to Alex. So let me get that going. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you all for watching, for talking, for lurking, for anybody who listened to my whole spiel about HelloFresh, our new sponsor for the month. Which if anybody wants to sign up for that, there's a link right there. I'll be talking more about it on my future streams, as well as trying out some of their food on stream and showing you all what they're like. And I'm super excited to get our meal on Tuesday. So yeah, I don't know when I'll be streaming next. We'll see. But I'll post in Discord and Twitter whenever I stream next. But yeah, thank you guys so much, all of you, for being here. I appreciate y'all. Let's go show some love to Alex. He is one of our mods here. If you have a sub, copy the first one. If you don't have a sub, copy the second one, or you can replace whatever you want to say with it. It's up to you. But yeah, those are our raid messages for today. I'll see you all during the next stream, and I hope you all have a good night or a good day wherever you're from. Happy time zones. Bye bye, everybody. I'll see you later.